to show what he was capable of doing. He was getting ready. And I said, no, that's not the way it's going to go. I said, we're going to try to figure out something to help you and maybe some other people with disabilities find their way, to be part of a team, to be employed, be part of our community. So it took 3 years and a lot of hard work by many people, a lot of generosity by a lot of people. And we opened it in January of '05 and thought we would train 5-10 people a year. Now we're staring at 900 graduates in 10 years. Because what happened was there was a need for a place like the Positive Vibe. And who knew? We didn't know. But we found out that there were a lot of people that all they wanted was a chance, an opportunity to just illustrate what it is that they are capable of. And that's what we do here. We create a basis of confidence and self-esteem so that you can have that opportunity and go out and show employers, hey, I can do this job and I can do it pretty well. We've got some food coming out here. I know we don't want to hold that up. Thank you very much. This was a very interesting class. I did not get to know it as well as I'd like to, but the parts that I saw were extremely entertaining. And I mean that sincerely. I stopped a couple times and just listened to them talk and walk and relate and sing and any number of other things, and just were amazed at how they all bonded. I know a lot of them knew each other before they came here, but even the ones that didn't, they were a true class, they were a true team, and they took to the training in a way that I had not seen a class for a long time. It's very impressive. And they should be proud of what they've accomplished. It's not the easiest thing to go through this program, and sometimes people think that it's just a pretty simple process, but there's quite a bit that they have to learn, and there's quite a bit of work that they have to do. Not every single person goes through it successfully, but when you try, and when we have the people here that do the real work, they make it fun. You kind of learn without even knowing that you're learning, which is the best way to learn. But I was impressed by how they hung together and how they stuck together and worked together and helped each other out. And that's a trait that you just don't often see. It's also a trait that can carry over to wherever you go, because it's a symbolism of teamwork. It's not individual, it's team. And I never say if, I say when they'll find their jobs. That will be a trait that will help them wherever they go. Working with somebody in tandem, in a group, showing everybody that I can not only do the job, but I can get along with you, and I can help you if you help me. And that's what employment is all about. We've had a lot of classes go through here. We've had a lot of people that have helped the classes. The staff here is exemplary. Sometimes it's overlooked when you run a kitchen back there and you have catering, as we often do, off-site and on-site, regular business. And oh, by the way, there's a training program going on, which is a real challenge for a lot of the people in the kitchen. And they deal with it in an amazing way because they understand why we're all here. Every one of us here is here for this group. That's why this place is built. And we need to be reminded, and the classes remind us of that. Certainly the graduations do. But our kitchen manager back there, he gets a little understaffed and he's working as hard as he can, and he tells me, he goes, but you know what, when I see these classes and I see these students, it makes me feel great, as it does everybody. So we get a little bit out of you guys. You might not know that. You might be getting something from us, but it comes back to us as well. We hope to have far more graduations, and I know that we will. We may not have a class like this again. This was a special class, and a lot of times we say that about it. I'm not so sure that we are as sincere as we are about this one. It was pretty amazing. We've had some people go through our training class in the early days that really show what this progress is made, how they learned to get this man. I say young, he was in his 40s. He started here. Spinal cord injury, name is Jesse. He worked in the kitchen. We had an adjustable table. He came to work 2 hours early every day. He could not wait to clock in. He was just standing like this, ready to go. He enjoyed it. He always wanted to be in food service. After 6 months, one night he came in 10 minutes late, and very uncharacteristic. He had his manual wheelchair. He wheeled past me and said, "Sorry, boss." I said, "Jesse, don't even worry about it. 10 minutes is really nothing." He did a shift. He was getting ready to leave, and somebody finally asked him, "What happened to you, Jesse? Usually you're early." Reluctantly, he said his car had caught on fire. It started smoking at an intersection. He had to physically drag himself out of the front seat, drag himself to the sidewalk, ask a bystander to go into his car, yank out his adaptive driving equipment and his manual wheelchair, pulled it to the sidewalk. Jesse got himself in the chair, put his equipment in his knapsack, and hand-wheeled over 2 miles to come to work. Jesse was scared he was going to lose his job. That opportunity that he had waited all his life for to have and work in a kitchen, he finally had realized it, and he thought it would slip away. He didn't think that that was a legitimate reason to be late. That form of dedication is something that I'll never know, many of us won't know. That appreciation of what he had been given. I tell that story to employers whenever I have the opportunity because they need to hear that story, because they need to know that to many people with disabilities, employment is not an obligation, it's a privilege. It's an opportunity to be part of something, and that's what they want to be. And that's what they're going to be. There's many stories like that, and there's probably going to be stories like that with these people right in this room right now. And I believe that to be true. I think, don't ever forget your experience here. We won't forget you. You're part of the Positive Vibe family now. That means several things that are very important. One is that you have to spend your first paycheck here. And you know, it's kind of funny because every time I mention that, people laugh. I don't know if they really understand. It's contractual. We have a notary republic. You have to sign a contract. The whole thing. But mostly we want to hear the stories. We want to hear the success stories. We want to hear where you're working. How's it going? We have an opportunity for alumni to get together here. Vibe Fest that we have every year out in our parking lot in the spring. A lot of music, a lot of bands. And the alumni come back and they all share all their success stories, which we want to hear. We'll have other chances too. I appreciate everybody coming today. I can tell you that in the middle of a Friday afternoon, it's not always easy. I think UVA is playing a basketball game too. Probably some people are wondering about that. But it shows your dedication to the graduates, and I know that means a lot to them. So thank you. Thank you for coming. Thank you for the staff. It's also a special day for one of our employees, but I'm going to let somebody else talk about that here shortly. So I'm going to introduce to you the people that really do the work, not the people that just talk like me. Our training program director is Sarah McKay. Sarah?
Hi everybody. I want to thank you for giving up your Friday afternoon. I say giving up, I mean